This episode of the Redbeard Podcast is brought to you by DJ Tone Entertainment. If you're looking for a DJ to provide the best entertainment with cutting-edge equipment for your event, then look no further. From weddings and corporate events to birthday parties and family reunions, DJ Tone Entertainment can do it all. You can find their rates on Facebook or message them for a personalized quote. So don't wait. Book DJ Tone Entertainment today.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tony from the Redbeard Podcast. And if you got a case of the Mondays, this is the place to be. Guys, we got some awesome stuff to talk about this week. So listen, the Black Widow movie's coming out. What do we think about it? Are we psyched about it? What are we expecting from this movie? I mean, I'm expecting to see Scarlett Johansson, but other than that, I mean, what else are we looking for? Also, the Blumhouse Productions. There's a lot of movies that this production company has released, and is this the resurgence of B movies, or are they actually putting out some pretty cool stuff? We're going to have a little bit of a chat about that, and we officially have a Red Beard troll on our Twitter account. He's pretty passionate about DC, and I'm not sure if we're as passionate as him, and we'll reveal why. So if you want to know what we're talking about, stick around.
Redbeard Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
Everybody, welcome back to the Redbeard Podcast. Psyched to be here. I got my boys Cooley and Jim Rock with us. What's up?
What up?
Hi, everybody.
Did you just wave again, man?
It's my thing.
On his own this time.
Yeah, on his own. I didn't force his hand.
We gotta put out like a GIF of me doing that.
Dude, we should. Yeah. That's gonna be like that should be like the picture for this episode. Jim just fake waving.
GIF.
Yeah. Or GIF. Is it a GIF or a GIF?
GIF. I call it a GIF. People call it a GIF.
I
potato,
call it a
potato,
GIF.
Whatever the fuck.
Tomato.
I don't have my hair gel in.
Potato.
It's a
Potato.
moving picture.
Yeah. So anyway, well, some stuff to talk about, guys. So there's some stuff going on with possibly. Well, we know what's happening. Is a new Black Widow movie. Scarlett Johansson is obviously going to be playing Black Widow. Who else would be? She's awesome in that role.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really know much else about that. We know that they're looking for a female director.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see, Scarlett Johansson take on this role and find out more about how Black Widow came about. Know a little bit more about her character, since I don't really necessarily read the comics. I'd like to see how the MCU is actually going to explain that. But looking for a female director, I mean, do you guys have anybody that you could picture actually doing this film or directing this film as a female director? Is anybody that jumps out specifically?
I mean, nobody that I know of that has taken on this kind of a movie. The cool thing about Black Widow is that it can be any kind of movie.
Right.
Like, you can go back to the Red Room and her training and how she became the Black Widow.
I'd like to see that.
And I mean, that's something that they've shown in the movies a couple of times, where we got to see like her origins and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not necessary, but it's something they could really do something cool with. The only problem is that she's a tad bit older than what she should be in that movie. So having it be Scarlett Johansson, that would be kind of weird. So the fact that she's involved makes me think that's probably not what they're going to do.
But they can always have like a younger girl portray her in the flashbacks.
Exactly.
Yeah, that and Disney has proven time and again that they are masters at de-aging people. So they could totally just do that as well, I guess. Like, but it's not like she's got a ton of age on her to get rid of anyway.
Chris Evans in Captain America: First
Yep.
Avenger. I understand that was not.
I mean,
Disney
Michael
at the
Douglas
time.
for me was the big one in Ant-Man. Like the job that they did on him and making him look younger was pretty damn fantastic.
I could see that. I mean, I thought Michael Douglas was great in this movie.
Technology, right?
In Ant-Man.
Yeah. I mean, like you
phenomenal.
don't have to go crazy with Scarlett Johansson. She doesn't look like she's wrinkly and shit, but the bottom line is she doesn't look like she's 16 anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she could do a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old. So I mean, like that's my only concern.
Well, one of the people that I know that they have been, it's rumored that they're looking at for a director is Kate Shortland. She's done some movies. Last one was 2012. Well, not 2012, but one of them was Lore. Another one in 2004, Somersault. Most recently, she was director of a 2017 film called The Berlin Syndrome. That's one of the names that I heard was rumored in an article that I read.
It's like the front runner.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't really know too much about her, but you know, it says that it was Shortland, Asante. So basically, what I've read in this article is a little more input on Black Widow director search. I hear Kate Shortland, but sources said not to count out Ama Asante, and directed Belle and Maggie Betts. There's another movie that I can't pronounce, who round out the top 3 contenders called from a field of 49. It was Shortland, Asante, and Betts who met recently with Marvel's Ken Feige and Scarlett Johansson. So the fact that these 3 women met, who are previously known as directors, met with Scarlett Johansson and Kevin Feige actually is a pretty good idea that it may be one of the 3.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Patty Jenkins would have been a good one, but she's directing Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
And Wonder Woman 1984, because the one thing that DC was smart about was locking her down.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I believe, I'm pretty sure that she was involved in Thor. Thor: The Dark World.
I feel like that makes sense, and I heard that somewhere before.
And she got fired, and they brought on, I think.
But did they say why she got fired?
Creative differences, maybe something like that. So it was something weird, and I mean, like I just think there must have been something behind it, and I mean everything happens for a reason. But if they had let her finish that movie and kind of kept her in their stable of directors, she would have been doing Black Widow or Captain Marvel.
Do we think that this Black Widow movie is Marvel's answer to Wonder Woman?
Well, no, I think Captain Marvel is going to be. It's really weird. It's a good question. The answer to that question is kind of folded on top of itself, because Marvel had announced that they were doing Captain Marvel well before DC committed to doing Wonder Woman. So I want to say that Wonder Woman is DC's response and kind of their attempt to be first on the scene, right? By doing Wonder Woman. That's their response to Captain Marvel.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But because Wonder Woman came out first, I think now Captain America is the response. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Captain
I know
Marvel.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But yeah, Black Widow, are we surprised this movie is coming out to begin with? Because in a way, I am.
A little bit. I didn't see Black Widow having her own movie, but I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, like, Scarlett Johansson's been fighting for this for a long time. So
And
I'm
she
like,
should be.
Yeah, and I'm like really glad that she's getting a chance to shine, because I'm sure when she signed up to be Black Widow, I'm sure she had it in her head like, oh, I'm going to get a movie.
Yeah.
Because she's looking at all the stuff that's going on. And
she's
talented
enough to get it.
Yeah, and remember, she came on Iron Man 2, which is like...
Yeah.
That was way in the beginning. That was like that was just as they decided that they were starting this Marvel Universe thing.
It's got to be almost 10 years ago now.
Wow. So, Cooley, here's a question for you. And Jim, obviously, jump in on this, please. I mean,
well, it's for Cooley.
It is the podcast, so everyone can jump in. Black Widow, apparently going to have her own movie. Where do you see this all going? I mean, and that's kind of an open question with probably a lot of answers, but like, we've already had Infinity War, so we know how that went. There's going to be another Infinity War, or the second part of this.
Yeah, to wrap it all up.
Exactly. I mean, do you think it's too late for them to do a Black Widow movie? Like, how is this all going to fit into the MCU? If they wrap up with the next Infinity War, does that end things? Do you see the Marvel Universe moving forward? Wow, that's a long question and a lot of answers.
I mean, I think there's one answer that I can give you, and that's I don't think it's too late for anything. I think they've set this up as a comic book universe, just like they did with their comics, and you can literally give us any story. We can go back in time, we can go forward in time, we can follow right after the Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet or whatever they're going to call the fourth one. I think they can literally do anything with the character, but I think it's all going to be contingent on what we get in Captain Marvel, because they're introducing the Skrulls. I have a strong feeling that we're either going to see the Kree-Skrull War, which is a war between the alien races of the Kree and the Skrull, if you haven't figured that out.
I didn't.
Good. So I'm glad I broke it down. It's either going to be Kree-Skrull War or it's going to be Secret Invasion, which is where the Skrulls actually infiltrate, humans and shit like that by, because they're shapeshifters and they can like kind of blend in. And like in the books, it was basically they were impersonating key figures in the Marvel universe. So you had like characters that were actually Skrulls that people thought were Elektra or Mockingbird or friggin' Captain America, characters like that.
Right.
That everybody's like, Hank Pym was a Skrull, and it was like, it was very, very interesting and very cool because there was that element of who do you trust now. So that might be something that they do going forward, and I think because they're introducing the Skrulls and Captain Marvel, I think that's kind of where they're going to go with the Marvel Universe going forward. So we'll see what they have planned, and I'll be honest, man, they haven't failed me yet. I mean, I think everything they've done is kind of knocked it out the park.
Statement. Yeah.
So it's kind of like when Fisher Stevens infiltrated the Indian culture by doing Short Circuit 2.
Yes.
Which you hadn't commented on that. That
Just
was a
like
previous
that.
episode. Awesome. Blew my mind. Yo, so I know you guys are not you're not offended by I have a joke. It's MCU related. But are you guys offended by like your mama jokes at all?
I mean, as long as you're not talking about my mama, no.
No, it's not anybody specific. It was just somebody told me this joke
You
the
can
other day
talk
and I
about my
laughed.
mom.
All right, here we go, right? Your mom is so fat Thanos had to snap his fingers twice. I thought that was pretty funny. So, tell me that's not funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, somebody told me that the other day and I literally laughed for a good 10 seconds.
I think it's funny that people are still doing Yo Mama jokes.
Well, I think it was more of just kind of like a stupid,
Didn't
thing.
Wilmer Valderrama kill
But,
that?
I mean, whatever. It's stupid, but it made me laugh, and I thought you guys would find it funny. Whatever. But
real quick though.
Yeah.
I want to throw this in now, only because we're talking about the MCU. We got our first troll. We mentioned that in the intro.
Oh my God, yeah. What a joke.
I'm a huge MCU fan, so I
Really?
No. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. A huge MCU fan, and it's just, this is funny to me because basically I posed this question. I just said #haters gonna hate, right?
Yep.
Question for the Twitterverse. Does tribalism play a role in whether or not we love or hate a movie? For example, I wasn't a fan of Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad and Justice League, but I loved Wonder Woman and all the MCU films. Let's discuss. Use #TribeWars, right? And I'm expecting to have a pretty decent conversation with people across the Twitterverse, but we got one person responding to this thing, and it was the troll.
And just so you know, when I read my tweets as the troll, I'm not going to actually correct his grammar.
So I followed this up by saying I personally like to think that I'm above tribalism, because I do, and I want the DC EU movies or DC Extended Universe movies to be great. Why not? I mean, that means more great superhero films for me to shove into my eye holes. But it feels like Warner Brothers just doesn't care about the director's vision and muddies everything up. So the reply from the troll, the first one that we got, was,
yes is the short answer. I also think your perception of a comic book movie. I like the films you claim not to be. I like the films you claim not to be like because for me they are more realistic and a mature way to approach mythical and fictitious characters as if they actually exist in our real world.
So I said, I don't think I hated them more than just thought they could have been better. It wasn't concept, it was execution, and for me anyway, I can totally see how others could enjoy them. I don't see how one is more realistic or mature than the other, though. Is it the humor? And the troll responds,
No, it is not humor. Man of Steel is a much more mature take on Superman than ever before portrayed. It is realistic because it is set in our world, literally having the media, businesses, the services such as military and politics of our world. The MCU does not have that, period.
So I said, oh, snap. I didn't know this was a debate. Okay. MCU doesn't have media or military? Wait, wasn't Iron Man selling weapons to the military? Who does Thunderbolt Ross work for? Willy Wonka? Who broke the news that Iron Man was Tony Stark? Some rando? I don't know. You're gonna have to dig deeper than that, bud.
Having military means what? I said, as our world, in short, not Hollywood, bud. Actual military people, weapons, and vehicles, the way the military actually conducts itself with actual military language was present in MOS. Actual media as CNN, ESPN with actual announcers were used.
Yeah, every emphasis that you just made was all in caps, by the way, so that was great.
I do that on purpose.
So I said, gotcha. Yeah, like CNN reports on things in Iron Man, and that there was a dogfight with an F-22 Raptor or two F-22 Raptors in the first Iron Man movie. I totally understand now. I get it.
Not to mention that you actually put pictures of Iron Man in there to clear that up. And he responded with,
One, CNN covering a dogfight between Iron Man and two military fighter jets is unrealistic and clearly fantasy, as how would they know this is to be able to cover it? And two, I believe the CNN reporter was covering Tony Stark coming and saying he was Iron Man.
So I replied, spoiler, the CNN report is a separate thing from the dogfight. But I see what you're saying now. The way the DCEU represents its fictional superhero world with godlike beings beating each other up in the sky is far more realistic than how Marvel does it. Man, look at all those screens.
No, it is not about godlike beings beating up each other. It is actually about the relatable way the world actually works. News and the media dominates our world. That is my point. They used real news people and real news outlets. What day goes by and you don't hear the news? Real.
Yo, I mean...
yo, that was mad fun, actually.
Dude, I can't... Dude, you can't make this up, man.
Yo,
and
that guy was mad passionate. Well,
Yeah.
that's how I hear him in my head.
So, listen, man, shout out to the troll. Thanks for interacting with me.
Thanks.
It was fun while it lasted, but as you see, I did stop responding.
That's my best part. That's
Yeah.
my favorite point, actually, is that, like, reading these, he, like, kept responding, and you were like, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
And just didn't respond.
Well, I mean, I thought
he wasn't getting it.
because I was being as nice as I possibly could,
yeah,
wasn't I?
exactly.
Like, I was just like, dude, I get it. I totally get it. Like,
Yeah.
my first response was just literally like, hey, I get why people would like these movies. Like, I get it.
Yeah, well, you were
Like,
just having, like, an
I-
honest conversation.
yeah,
he
like,
literally went ham. He
I
was
didn't like them,
having
but
an issue.
but yeah, no, like it was. I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm
But,
on his Twitter feed right now, and there's only two things on here. It's I love DC and I hate Donald Trump. And
Wait, those are the only two things he's posted?
that's pretty much it.
That's great.
Well, I respect
He's
the
very-
second
he's
tweet.
very
I
passionate.
respect the second tweet, and I would like that. But, yo, I'm gonna go on his
He's
Twitter right
very
now
passionate.
and like that second
Yeah,
tweet.
tell him how real the news is.
Oh, my God.
When we're talking about Donald Trump.
Is Donald Trump gonna talk about Iron Man? Oh my God.
It's so good. So good.
Well, wait a minute. Donald Trump just go.
So one of the big things that we're doing coming up
huge.
it's going to be a huge improvement. We're calling it the space sector.
Space Force.
The Space Force. It's
Separate
gonna be,
but equal from the Air Force.
So we're going to have our military, our Air Force, and the Space Force.
I don't know. He sounds a little, I don't know, weird, but
Yo,
whatever.
Space-
that's
Space
as best
Force-
as I can do right now.
Space Force is just so weird, man.
Space Force
that's
just
a
sounds so awkward.
topic for another podcast.
I'm
but
Donald Trump. Fuck LeBron James. That's my. I'm not political.
Oh my god.
So
Fuck LeBron James.
Blumhouse, bro.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Blumhouse Productions, I mean, basically, if you look them up on Wikipedia or on any source, it just basically says they're a multimedia production company that has pioneered a new model of studio filmmaking by producing high-quality, micro-budget films. Blumhouse, which has a first-look deal with Universal Pictures, has produced such high-quality, profitable film franchises as The Purge, Insidious, and Paranormal Activity. So anybody who is familiar with those films would say, okay, they seem to be doing pretty well, but is this technically a company that's throwing out just B movies and is throwing out kind of good movies and then, like, you know, just like trunk loads of shit? It's weird, man. They kind of go either way. I mean, if you look at the type of films that this company has released, I mean, here's just a couple of them. So it's Happy Death Day, The Purge, Split, Paranormal Activity, Sinister, The Gift, and then Get Out. So right there, I mean, the majority of the films that I just listed are pretty well-respected films. I mean, Paranormal Activity has done well. It's spawned multiple films after that. The Purge is doing really well. It's actually coming out with a new film in like a couple months. Split with James McAvoy was excellent. And then also Get Out was phenomenal. And they also did Whiplash in 2014. And like I said, Get Out in 2017. Both have earned nominations for Academy Awards for Best Picture. So,
Get Out was my favorite movie in 2014. Flat out loved that movie.
Which one?
Whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, these movies, although are, you know, you're looking at them, you know, Blumhouse Productions, like, are they B movies? Are they great movies? They're movies that are doing really well.
B movies aren't bad movies. That's not what
Well,
the B
no,
stands
I'm not
for.
saying that, but I mean, like, B movies are not like A-list like movies.
Yeah.
They're not considered like,
They
oh my
are
god.
totally B movies.
But a lot of B movies now are actually, you know, kind of breaking down some barriers. They're actually kind of getting in front of like bigger eyes, and they're starting to impress, you know, the Academy and things like that. So B movies can't continue to be underrated.
Right, they are modern day B movies. I mean, like, back in the day, you know, this is the kind of this would equate to the kind of budget that a Roger Corman would get to produce something. Now he's getting the budget that he got to make movies. He's getting that budget to make like telefilms like friggin' Sharknado, you know?
Right. I mean, if you look at this production company, right, as far as like what these movies were made for or made with and what they actually made overall, it's pretty astonishing. I mean, in Paranormal Activity, it was made for $15,000, and it grossed over $193 million.
Yeah, that's Blair Witch
That,
money.
I mean, that's insane, right? So, Insidious, it grossed over $97 million worldwide on a budget of $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Sinister grossed over $87 million, and it was made with $3 million. You know, I mean, these are ridiculous money-making machines. Like they've pretty much found a pattern of what works and what audiences seem to like and what's going to bring in the money. So they're sticking with that. And even though some of these are really cheesy, you know, like they had the one with like the Ouija board, I don't even think that did that well. But I mean, it falls in line with some of the previous movies that have made money.
I think that's the one Blumhouse film I haven't seen.
I haven't seen
is
it. 'Cause
Ouija.
I haven't seen it because it looked awful. But, excuse me, then again, I mean, if you look at Paranormal Activity, there's a lot of those I haven't seen either because I saw the first two and I was like, oh, this is dumb. But audiences actually love that. They love going into the theaters. grabbing a popcorn, going on there and like date night with like, the teens go in there with like their boyfriends, girlfriends, and like, oh my God, I'm going to get scared.
I've seen all of the
that's where they
Paranormal
make
Activities, and I thought they were all really good.
Yeah, but they make money because they get those cheap scares.
I mean, can we say that Blumhouse is almost single-handedly reviving the horror genre currently? I mean, it's got, like you said, Insidious, Purge, and Paranormal Activity, which are like the three giant horror franchises out right now. It's got the Creep movies. It's got The Gift. It's got the complete resurgence.
You mean Jeepers Creepers?
No, Creep. It's on Netflix.
Oh.
We've got the complete resurgence of M. Night Shyamalan. Mm-hmm. He has been brought back to life after some bullshit movies with The Visit and Split, and now Glass is going to be coming out, which is a Blumhouse movie, which I think we all agree harken back to his old Sixth Sense, Unbreakable. Just awesome.
Totally a tie-in with Unbreakable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hush is a movie. We've got the Belko Experiment, Happy Death Day. I mean, these are great, fun movies. Except for one, and it's so out of place. They made Gem and the Holograms.
Yes, yeah, I saw that.
Just stick to horror movies, guys.
Yes, please.
They actually made Exeter too?
They made I was just looking
Exeter
at that.
was a film that
I know,
was...
I saw it.
It was July 2nd of 2015. It had a $2 million budget. Well, actually, I'm sorry. It actually...
That was $2 million?
No. The budget was $2 million. It did not do that well. It made...
That was probably their one flop.
Yeah,
I probably
it did
Jen and the
pretty bad.
Holograms.
I'm actually looking at it right now. Hold on, if I can find out exactly how much it was.
I actually thought Exeter was pretty good.
Well, no, I mean the movie was a bad film, but it made something in like the $250,000 kind of like money range.
I feel like that was like a straight to Netflix movie.
It was,
Yeah.
but Exeter was good. I feel like if you live in Rhode Island and you know where like the Joseph P. Ladd School is, because that's where it was filmed and that's like reportedly haunted.
We used to go ghost hunting.
there. We've been in there. We have pictures. I mean, it's some freaky shit there. But at the same time, like to know that it was filmed there was kind of a big deal to locals. So that I think that's where the majority of the money came from, and some outsiders in like the New England area.
Did they do Don't Breathe?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. I haven't been seeing
That
it
seems
here.
like a Blumhouse film.
It seems like it. I just don't see it on the list here.
And I'm also looking at upcoming movies, and some of these movies are going to be huge.
Halloween.
I mean, they've got the next Purge. They've got Halloween.
See, that's gonna be
They've got Glass,
baller.
which is the next M Night. They've got another Happy Death Day. They have Five Nights at Freddy's. They've got Spawn.
There's another movie.
Yeah, Blumhouse.
There's
Spawn,
another
yep.
movie coming out called Thriller, which I'm interested to know what that is. I mean, who knows? Whenever I hear Thriller, I just think Michael Jackson.
I think
And
everyone thinks Michael Jackson.
But it's also when you look at like whatever this says. I mean, it just says Dallas Jackson, somebody that's in it. Or I mean, I don't know. That's interesting. Michael Jackson, Dallas Jackson.
Yeah, maybe it's like a remake of the Thriller video
Maybe. I mean, that's interesting that they would just do the video.
as a movie.
Right, but I mean, I
Like
guess
you take that
Yeah,
video
the-
and you extrapolate it out across like 2 hours or an hour and a half. You know what
it's
I
like
mean?
Halloween meets The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with Jim. I mean, some of the stuff they have lined up is pretty ridiculous.
Dude, I think we need to go to Happy Death Day. We need to go to Blumhouse when we write our movie. Just be like, yo, I've got like $10 and a killer script. What's up?
We got you.
Yeah, what's up?
For real. Hey man, they're a startup and they're doing really well. I mean, I can't really crack on them. I mean, a lot of people think that there could be some B movies going out with Blumhouse. Like whatever. I mean,
No, there are B movies. $15,000 is a B movie. $1 million budget, a $2 million budget in an era where, like you're talking minimum 30 to 40 mil for a budget, like just to cover, the actor and the actress that you're going to have in the film. Like, I mean, these guys have developed a relationship with the movie studios that are putting out movies, that are putting together the movies with the actors, with the, like, it just seems like they have a really good relationship with people, and they're just like, look, let's get this movie done.
But the thing about these movies is that they're, even though you might consider them as B movies, they are killing at the box. I can't talk today. They're killing at the box office, and that's the only thing that this production company and the the studio cares about, is how they do at the box office. You could put $5 million into a movie, and if it makes 25, it's still a win.
Yeah, but that's the thing. 25. If you look at the box office and what's considered a hit, like that, the only reason why they are hits are because they spent so little on them.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying, like, any gain, whatever it is still a win for the company. They're not looking at it on a grand scale.
Right, but that doesn't mean, I was just waving a fly away.
No worries.
That doesn't mean that you would take that and you put it up against, like, Creed. And
completely agree.
And say, oh, this is an A-list movie because it made X amount of dollars. No,
it's what you put into it.
Yeah,
right. No, that makes sense.
It's still a B movie, but it's a damn good B movie.
Not just movies, but they're also branching off into TV. They've come out with stuff such as Oren Peli's The River in 2012. They came out with Ascension, the sci-fi TV show. And this year, they're going to be coming out with the TV show The Purge, based on the movie.
Interesting.
And they are also coming out with the resurgence of the TV show Scare Tactics.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
I love Scare Tactics. Yeah, man. So
I'm down.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it, man.
They are a cash cow.
Yeah, I agree. I think what they're doing is great for the industry. I mean, we get to see more good stuff because they're willing to take chances on people that, like, these are probably movie pitches that people have gone to, like, the bigger studios with, and they just kind of said, no, go fuck yourself.
Right.
And these guys were just like, hey, we'll give you $2 million, do the movie.
Right,
Make it happen. We'll give you $15,000. I think that's all you need. Make it happen. And they trust the directors to do their thing. There's probably very little interference from Blumhouse with the directors. They make their movie, they put it together, and they give it to them, and they say, here you go. And they put it out, and you get a good film.
Just steer clear of 1980s cartoon and toy franchises.
Why do you say that?
Because of Gem and the Holograms.
Yes.
Oh,
Agreed.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Agreed.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's all I got for today. How about you guys?
I'm good.
Word.
Yeah, I'm
right.
good.
Yeah, just make sure you tune in later on tonight for the Bachelorette After Party with Tony and Becca. And make sure you tune in on Thursday for We Love Wednesdays every Thursdays with yours truly.
Hell yeah.
And a couple of other people.
Word.
But yeah, peace out from the Nerd Ruckus Network.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye.